Hey guys, Ksenia here. My name is Ksenia. Ksenia is how it's supposed to be spelled, but my mom gave me an X and ruined my life. Joking. It's fine. Okay, guys. Normally I like to do a video at the start of a challenge, introduce myself and stuff, but this has been the biggest challenge we've ever run. Thank you guys. And the workload was absolutely insane. Plus, we had the winners from the Savage and Six Christmas challenge, who were taking up the prize here in Costa Rica, and it was just, we didn't get a chance to spend enough time with them, unfortunately, due to the launch. My training took a back seat, unfortunately, but things are smoothing out, and I think we're starting to run fluidly now. Excuse me. So some of you guys are complaining that the program is too easy. It's not Ksenia style. My apologies, guys. I have some pretty fun, intense challenges planned for Sunday. Every Sunday, starting the Sunday after launch, I post, well, it's supposed to be Sunday. Sometimes it's like a Tuesday or Monday, depending on how we're doing the challenge and stuff like that. But every week I post an additional challenge that we add on to the workouts. We do a training challenge. We might do a nutrition challenge. We might do a cardio challenge. We might do a self-esteem challenge as well. We got some good stuff planned for you. Rest assured, guys, we do have some pretty intense stuff coming up on Sunday. So just easing you guys into the training programs and trying to get you guys comfortable and back into the swing of things. I know a lot of you guys were doing the in-between program, the deload. So jumping right back into Savage workouts. I know you were anticipating that and hoping for that. And my apologies, it's not as hard as you guys were hoping it would be. Now, for those of you who are saying the program is too hard, you know, it's hard to please everybody. This is a group training program, so it's not customized. We do our best to tailor the programs to each individual. When we receive our check-ins on Sundays from the girls who are doing the full version, we do our best to tailor the program to each individual person based on their responses to the check-in questions and so forth. But we do our best. We do our best, and I'm here to serve you. I'm here to kick your butts and push you guys and help you guys transform and make some amazing drastic changes to your physique and fitness levels. So work with me, guys. Give me your feedback. I want your feedback. I want this to work for you guys, okay? So thank you for that. Some of you guys have been messaging me or emailing me or posting in the group your food subs. I want to talk quickly about the difference between carbohydrates and your meal plan. Without getting into all the scientific jargon behind it, a carb is not a carb, okay? There are complex carbs. There are simple carbs. There's fiber. Now, there's a lot of gray areas between those as well. Simple carbohydrates are sugars. They're quickly absorbed, quickly consumed, quickly turned into glycogen, which is then exported into your muscles and liver if you have space for them, and then is burned off quickly, gives you some rapid energy, and then whatever you don't burn off in a very short time frame, I think it's 4 hours, you store that extra energy for later energy, which is also known as fat. All this fat on us is extra energy that we consumed, which we are trying to burn off with Savage and Six. So if you see your program, your meal plan has, let's say, 50 grams of carbs, if you're going to be getting those from donuts and sugar syrup and fruit, you're not going to be progressing because your body's going to be taking all that glycogen and just shuttling it into your fat cells for later. The only time you want a simple carbohydrate when you're trying to lose fat is after you finish training. When you train, when you're lifting weights and doing the high volume training that we have on the program, your body is taking the glycogen that's in your muscles and using that for energy. Now, once those glycogen stores are empty and depleted, which takes a long time, it's a process, you start tapping into your fat cells for energy as well. Typically, according to the textbooks, everyone is different. There's no two bodies that are the same. You spend the first half hour of training burning off glycogen, and then after that, you start burning off fat. That said, everyone is different, and depending on how much glycogen your body can store, that could vary very differently. Typically, we hold about 500 grams of glycogen in our body, so in our muscles and in our liver. And to get rid of that, we have to do a lot of training. people who are familiar with ketogenic diets, you know it takes a certain window before you hit ketosis. I'm not looking for ketosis in our diets per se. We're doing sort of a cyclical carb cycle diet with most of you. And this is because I want you guys building and burning muscle simultaneously, not just burning fat, because there's a whole beautiful, complex ecosystem of stuff happening inside of you, and we are trying to create an incredible fat loss, muscle gain, sexy curve sculpting phenomenon. Okay, so simple carbs, after you finish training, your muscles are depleted, partially depleted of glycogen. So when you eat some fruit, I have you guys doing pineapple for the most part, those of you who are okay with it, having pineapple, which will then replenish those glycogen stores slightly, not fully, and will give you energy and the nutrients that you need to recover and build lean muscle mass, which is a good thing, okay? Fiber carbs, and this is where it gets kind of weird and gray, and again, there's no real way to tell which fiber grams get stored, get used and processed by the liver. Here comes Matt with the dogs right now. There's soluble and insoluble fibers, and when you, hi! There's soluble and insoluble fibers. Your body cannot process insoluble fibers. What ends up happening when you eat them, it basically acts like a broom inside of your intestines. It just helps you to be regular and helps you to maintain healthy intestinal functioning. But they do still affect your insulin slightly. It's hard to tell which fiber grams and which carbs, hi Coco, will affect your insulin levels. Now, when you look at complex carbohydrates, which you will find in the form of vegetables and slow digesting carbohydrates such as oatmeal, sweet potato, pumpkin, brown rice, beans, whatever else you see in the food substitution list, those do affect your insulin levels, but not as much as a simple carb would. These take longer for your body to process and digest. They give you a longer energy expenditure time to process into low carb day for me. So simple carbs spike your insulin, glycogen rushes to your muscles, and it's gets gives you all the energy. Like you have to burn it off quick, and then within a couple hours, that glycogen transports into your fat cells for later energy. So complex carbohydrates take a lot longer for that process to happen, and in proper doses and portion sizes, you end up having more fuel throughout the day, and you're actually supporting muscle mass growth, and you're boosting your metabolism, and those carbs will not be shuttled into your fat cells as quickly as a fast spike of insulin will. Hope that made sense. But the way we're training and the way we're timing our meals, meal timing is very important too. Some people might not agree with that. I agree with that, and my results with my girls is clearly showing otherwise. So the way we train, the way we time our meals, these complex carbohydrates are fueling you throughout the day and for the low carb days as well, and you are not going to be storing that excess energy as fat because you're going to be burning it off for a longer period of time. So macros are important. They're paramount. You want to hit your macros for each meal, not for the day, because if you're doing it for the day, you're not keeping a steady insulin level throughout the day. Insulin is super important to fat loss and muscle gains. The goal for physique-friendly diets and for your health and all that as well is to maintain a steady insulin level and to be very insulin sensitive. Insulin sensitive simply means that you are processing the carbohydrates and your body is reacting to them, but your insulin doesn't spike quickly. You have a steady and comfortable and appropriate level of insulin movement with what you're eating food-wise. These are my boys. That's Burrito on the right, the small little French bulldog, and that's our rescue dog, Coco, who kind of adopted us while we adopted him, and we nursed him back from pretty much next to dead, and he's now our little troublemaker. So Yeah, macro is not just a macro. Your sources of food are very important as well. You do not want to be getting your macros from processed foods. You do not want to be getting your macros, your calories from chemicals. You do not want to be getting things from packages and from foods that are not whole. For the most part, a little bit here and there. You know, you have to enjoy what you're eating, of course. But I want you guys to find joy in preparing healthy meals using whole foods that are on the food substitution list, foods that are natural, that are not overly processed, that do not contain dextrose and fructose and preservatives and stuff like that. Macros are everything, yes, but micronutrients are just as important, if not more important, when it comes to what's happening in your body on a cellular level. Cellular level. That said, micronutrients act as, how can I put this? They act as little messengers to the different functions in your body. There are so millions and millions of different receptors in your body that turn on and turn off and open and close depending on what you're feeding it, what you're fueling it. So if you're eating your greens, if you're eating unprocessed foods, if you're eating healthy and wholesome ingredients, you are priming your cells to accept the workload you're doing with your training, to accept, you're sending messages to burn fat, to have energy, to have the mental clarity, to have the vitality, the health, the regeneration, the rejuvenation, all these things. But if you're eating processed foods and things that are not dense in essential micronutrients, you're going to feel like a sack of assholes. Excuse me. You're going to feel like shit. And not only that, but you're also going to be triggering responses that you don't want. Simple sugars, like sugar and simple carbs in large doses feed disease. Cancer needs sugar to spread, to grow. And if you deprive your body from these toxins, because that's what it is, toxins, then you're actually closing off the receptors that contribute to illness, that contribute to obesity, to fat storage, and to insulin resistance and all these things. So what you eat is just as important as how much you eat and the macros you're consuming. So do not look at your carbs on your diet as a chance to eat half a donut. Yes, you might hit your macros eating shit food, but if you're hitting your macros eating poopy food, you're going to feel poopy and you're not going to be looking very good either. So when you see somebody who radiates health, who radiates fitness, who radiates that statuesque figure, rest assured they're not eating donuts and doing the if it fits your macros as you see people post on Instagram. When I'm on Instagram and I see something come up in my feed and you see like a food full of like hot dogs and burgers and cheese and chips and like whatever junk food, Snickers bars, and they do hashtag IIFYM if it fits your macros. I'm always like, I always laugh. I'm like, okay, if I click on this guy's girl's or whatever's profile, I wonder how they look. 99.9% of the time, these people do not look like they should be teaching and coaching body transformations, okay? You can't have your cake and eat it too if your cake is full of sugar and butter and fat. You can have your cake if it's full of healthy and nutritious, wholesome foods. There are so many food substitutions that you can use to eat the foods that you're craving that are not healthy. And our ambassador, Stephanie Henry, she is like the macro queen. Stephanie is here. I've been working with her for about a year, just under a year. She has done an incredible transformation in the time that we worked together. But more importantly, she has contributed to the group so much support, so much knowledge. This girl constantly blows my mind. She'll send me a photo of like waffles with chicken and all these extravagant meals, and I'm just like, what are you doing? And she assures me and shows me the ingredient list in her recipe, and I'm like, Stephanie, you are a genius. She can take any macros and create any possible meal you can imagine using foods that fit your goals. So Stephanie, I'm not going to put it all on you, but she's here to help us figure out how to make your favorite foods that don't fit your goals using ingredients that you want to be eating. My boys are getting feisty. We're taking them for a W. Any dog mamas know what that means. Guys, I'm sorry I had to do the video sooner. It was crazy. Great job this week. If you are scared to push yourself with your training, guys, if you're not comfortable doing the HIIT, if you're not comfortable doing the high volume, do it. Do it and thank me later. Nothing comes from your comfort zone. Nothing good comes from your comfort zone. If you do the same thing over and over again, you're going to have the same progress, the same results. I'm always open to hearing and learning and understanding what other people are doing. I'm always learning. I'm always out there studying and reading up on the most current things. If you have something that you love to do, by all means do it. But if you're doing it every single day, don't expect that to create a drastic wow factor transformation. If you want a wow factor transformation, you need a wow factor effort. Now, wow factor effort and wow factor effort comes from doing things that challenge you. So please, guys, give it a chance. If you don't like it, it probably means you got to be doing it to see the kind of progress that you want to see. I was never a runner. I hated it. And when I was in prep for my first competition, my coach at the time, he's like, if you want to win, you have to run. And I really wanted to win. I also really wanted to kill him, but I did it. And I win. And I've learned that because I hated it so much, that's what my body needed to transform. If you feel the resistance, if you feel your body pushing against you and saying, oh, this is really, really hard, that's a good sign. It gets easier as you get stronger. Not necessarily easier, but your body adjusts to that kind of effort, and your mind adjusts to that kind of effort. And we never want things to be easy. We never want to fully grow into a program. When it starts feeling easy, it's time to turn it up and switch things up. Push yourself, guys. Give yourself this 6 weeks to push yourself beyond your perceived limits. Give me that. It's 6 weeks out of your life, guys. It's one day at a time. Give me that effort, and I promise you, you're going to totally wow yourself at the end of these 6 weeks, okay? Happy Thursday. I keep thinking it's Friday. Happy Thursday, guys. So much love for you. Do keep pushing yourselves and keep your recipes coming too, guys. Every challenge now moving forward, we started with the last challenge. We do this we do this thing where we collect the recipes you guys are sharing for your meal prep, and I create a Savage Society family recipe book. So keep them coming, guys. I'm screenshotting them, I'm saving them, and we love all your contributions to this this cookbook, because I'm hoping to have an encyclopedia-worthy cookbook by the end of this challenge or the next. Okay, happy Thursday, guys. Talk to you soon.